Yes, Mr. Kevin Hatchard, European football expert. He joins us on the line now. Good morning, Kev.
Morning, Kev.
How are we, chaps? We well?
I can see you, Kev, in all your glory. Look how beautiful you look.
Oh, thank you very much.
You do look
I do my
wonderful.
best.
You do. You look
even
bright-eyed.
at this late hour.
Bright-eyed and bushy tail for even this late hour, mate. How are you? Well?
Yeah, good. So it was a really good weekend of European football. Good weekend of Bundesliga. Lots of cool stuff happening. So
Go on then, matey. I'll let you take it. Where do you want to start? Should we start La Liga? Where do you want to start?
Yeah, I think we should start with La Liga and we should start with Barcelona because they drew 0-0 with Rayo Vallecano in their first game of the La Liga season. They did manage to register most of their new signings, apart from Jules Koundé. They haven't done that yet. And the way they were able to do that was by selling another chunk of Barca Studios, which is their audio-visual company.
Right.
And they've sold that to a company called Orpheus Media. And so they've now sold two chunks of that. They've also sold 25% of the La Liga TV rights for the next 25 years.
Jeepers.
And what that's allowed them to do is to register Lewandowski and register Rafinha and all of those other signings. But they've still got work to do. They've still got players they need to shift off the wage bill or sell. And that's why Aubameyang keeps being linked with a move to Chelsea. And that's why Frankie de Jong keeps being linked with a move away. They weren't awful against Rayo, but Rayo have given them all kinds of problems recently. They beat them 1-0 twice last season, home and away. Goalkeeper Shlomo Dimitrievski was excellent, and they just defended very well. There were flashes of inspiration from Rafinha and Lewandowski, but nothing sustained.
Okay.
On to the German league, Kev, and my favourite player, Mane. How's he doing?
He's doing brilliantly. He's part of this Bayern front four now with Jamal Musiala, Thomas Müller and Serge Gnabry. They're all playing really, really well. And they've won all of their games so far. So they beat Leipzig 5-3 in the Super Cup before the season really got underway. They beat Frankfurt 6-1 on the opening day of the Bundesliga season. And they weren't quite so sparkling against Wolfsburg, but they got the job done in the first half, really. Jamal Musiala, I think England will look at that as the one that got away. I don't think there's anything he could have done to have persuaded him to play senior football for England, but he's going to be a superstar. He really is. So another goal for him. Thomas Müller scored. Mane, I think what's significant about him and the impact that he's made is that the fans have really warmed to him already. The players have as well. He speaks the language already from his time at Salzburg. And he's hit the ground running. And what it's allowed them to do very, very quickly is move beyond the Lewandowski era.
Two ex-Chelsea players, Chelsea strikers, I should say, or frontmen at least, scored at the weekend. Timo Werner, I believe, scored for
Unbelievable,
Leipzig.
Isn't it?
It's
unbelievable.
And
Werner.
Lukaku scored as well for Milan, Inter Milan.
Yeah, and if we start with Werner, actually, it was a bit of a gift, truth be told. He shot from range, and Marvin Schweber, who's usually quite a solid goalkeeper for Köln, just fumbled the ball underneath him and it went in. But Werner did look good, especially in tandem with Christopher Nkunku. And Nkunku had a big chance to make it 2-0 against Köln, and there was a good save from Schweber, who kind of made up for that error. And they ended up drawing the game 2-2, Leipzig. So they haven't won a game yet. They've drawn the first couple. And Romelu Lukaku with the perfect start because he scored in the second minute. I think it was 82 seconds into their game at Lecce. He gave them the lead with a header from close range. Lecce then equalised. They're a newly promoted club. And it took Inter a long, long time and a few near misses. The goalkeeper was excellent. Falcone for Lecce. But Denzel Dumfries with virtually the last touch of the game got them a win, and then Simone Inzaghi, the coach, went Mourinho style down the touchline. So really good win for Inter.
Kev, just reading at the bottom, Man United closing in on the signing of Atletico Madrid striker Cunha for €50 million. Any truth in that?
Well, I'm told the interest is certainly genuine, but how far along we are remains to be seen. But in terms of him as a player, what I can tell you is that he's certainly talented. He's a very skillful player. He's almost like a kind of mini Neymar, if you like, not in stature, but I think he really looks up to Neymar. And I think there have been elements of Neymar's game that he's copied to some extent. He's a player that at Leipzig was very promising, but he never nailed down a regular first team spot. He ended up going to Hertha Berlin at a time when Hertha was spending lots of money trying to build this new side, and it just didn't work. He did okay for them, I think, really, in what was a pretty dysfunctional side. So he scored a few goals, he made a few goals. And then the move to Atletico, I thought, was a real head scratcher because I never really felt he fitted in with what Diego Simeone wanted to do. He hasn't been a regular starter for them. To be fair to him, he's done okay in the games he's played. He scored some goals last season. But if United were to get him, I'm really intrigued about what they want to do with him, because even though he's played centre forward for Atletico, he's never been a regular goal scorer at centre forward. He will work hard without the ball, so that's an improvement on what United already have. He certainly will press, so that's important. You can play him on the left, cutting in on his right-hand side, which is something that I think Erik ten Hag would be interested in. So he's versatile, but it still feels a bit scattergun to me. How have we got from Arnautovic, who's a big, strong guy, to Cunha, who is 6 foot, but he's much more willowy, a much more kind of floaty kind of player, more of a support striker? I don't really understand what the plan is here.